Is this handhold to code? The pool company I used put up handholds on the side of my pool that has 8-foot walls. They glued plastic handholds over the tile. You can see the silicone they use through the plastic. You can also see water inside of the gloppy glue. Is this to code? I feel if it were grabbed, I could pull it or rip it off. It looks awful on this remodel, but that's an entirely different issue. How do I learn if this is up to code? So I guess the questions are, do you need handholds on the walls of a pool? And is it right to secure it with some silicone? Here is a reference.
Well, let me start by saying I cannot reference a specific code that requires handholds on a raised wall. Now, maybe there's some nuance in the code that would say if the wall is X amount high, it's required. I personally, now I'm not saying that it's absolutely the truth because I don't know for sure, but I have never seen a code requiring handholds on a raised wall. Having said that, as long as this wall is not designed to be climbed on, like I can imagine you putting in handholds to climb up a wall to fall off of the wall if it was designed for that, assuming that's not the case. If that was the case, these probably wouldn't work. You would want to have the rugged rock wall climbing things installed. These might have been put for convenience sake to make it easier. I could see, like as I'm thinking through this, I don't know where in the country you are or where in the world you are necessarily, but in the north where we have a closing and we have to close a pool, I could see it being helpful to have handholds as we're installing and putting on a safety cover, for example, that requires grommets that need to go across the face of that wall with a wire. I could see that being a case. I could see them being put in as a convenience factor for maybe little kids that could hold on to them. But I can't point at any law requirement saying they have to be there. So while they might look ugly, I guess we'd have to know what the pure function of them was and why they were put in. And if this is something that you could ask the contractor why they did it, or what they're saying, maybe they think there is a code, and maybe there's a local code that requires it. But I personally don't know that I've seen or run across a specific code anywhere in what I know that would require there be a handhold.
Okay, so what if the customer wanted handholds? Is there, do you think this is a good solution, or do you think there's another choice?
Well, there's always another choice. I mean, no matter what happens, there's another choice. If someone wanted handholds, I get it. Maybe what I would have done if it was me, if I was the contractor, I likely would have either manufactured and poured and created my own, or gone out, which I've done before, and buy the handholds that are used for rock climbing. And I would have bolted them into the wall. So if there's tile there, I would have screwed through the corner grout joints between 3-4 pieces of tile, or wherever I could, or tile, drill through the tile if I had to, and I would have anchored them into the wall so that there was a good grip. That's what I would have done. Now, is it wrong or illegal or whatever to epoxy or glue or glop some things on? Not necessarily, because it might work. There's some pretty strong epoxies out there. There's some pretty strong adhesives out there that would hold even a plastic handle in place. Maybe not designed to be climbed on like climbing up the wall, but it might be enough to hold someone who's a little nervous working their way along the wall to hold them up enough, because it's not holding your entire weight. Think about what a handhold is. You're buoyant. Your majority of the water is holding your body up. That's just enough to grip and stabilize yourself. So from that standpoint, maybe they're fine. Maybe they don't look good. Maybe that's gloppy and goppy with goop and stuff, and I get that. But it doesn't necessarily mean that it doesn't work. Now, if you're trying to drag yourself up that wall, probably not going to work for that. But if you're just stabilizing yourself as you're floating around and trying to work your way along the wall, it's probably adequate for that. Is that how I would have done it? Probably not. I would have bolted something into the wall and given you good strong grips that if you had to climb up the wall, they would have held. But that doesn't mean that it's wrong that they didn't do that.